tell us what it's like being in a marriage, a Hollywood marriage for 21 years and being successful.
We don't know. I kept my separation a big secret from my family, from my mom, from everybody. Only 2 people knew.
I'm really worried because Duane and Tisha have like a real violent relationship.
And Duane's hi, honey.
Hey, y'all about to get her beat with a bag of oranges.
For more than 2 decades, Tisha Campbell and Duane Martin were held up as one of Black Hollywood's ultimate love stories. From sitcom laughs to flawless red carpet moments, they looked untouchable. But behind the smiles, Tisha says she was trapped in what she now calls a real-life horror story.
One time, this person asked me, "This house is beautiful. What more could you want?" And I said, "Happiness." I'm free. I don't live here no more. I'm free, y'all. I'm so happy. Wow.
And her pain wasn't just about a failing marriage. It ran much deeper. Tisha was guarding secrets Hollywood's elite had spent years burying. Secrets that, once exposed, would link her husband to one of the most powerful names in entertainment history.
But I think the worst part of it was nothing ever happened no consequences ever happened to him. So I grew up thinking nothing bad happens to bad people.
Tisha Campbell and Duane Martin married in 1996. And this wasn't just 2 actors saying "I do." They were deliberately positioning themselves as the blueprint. Proof of what Black love in Hollywood could look like when it was done right.
So this is the type of interview we're going to conduct right now?
I'm just saying.
No, really, because this is a serious subject, so this is what we're going to do?
Serious subject.
Yeah, but this is what we're going to do?
No, continue. Continue.
Duane Martin.
Tisha had been working since childhood. We're talking Little Shop of Horrors, School Days, House Party, projects that made her a household name for anyone growing up in the 80s and 90s. Duane, meanwhile, was building a solid reputation as a dependable, attractive leading man who could act. But here's the part many people forget. Tisha didn't walk into this marriage on solid ground. She came in fresh off one of the most traumatic professional experiences a woman could face in 1996. Remember Martin? Tisha played Gina, Martin Lawrence's on-screen love interest for most of the show's run. But during the final season, she exited and filed a lawsuit against her co-star Martin Lawrence, alleging misconduct.
Right before Tisha left the set, because she had to. It got to that point.
Now keep in mind, this was 1996. The Me Too movement was still more than 20 years away, and the industry had no clue how to handle allegations like this. Instead of support, Tisha was branded a difficult. Her motives were questioned. Her reputation took a hit. Overnight, she went from America's favorite sitcom girlfriend to being quietly pushed aside. And right in the middle of that storm, Duane Martin appeared as her escape, a way out of the chaos, a chance to be seen as more than a victim. They married in a lavish ceremony, and for Tisha, that union felt like a lifeline. She wasn't just the woman who sued Martin Lawrence anymore. She was starting over. But as we all know, what looks like a fresh start on the outside can be the beginning of a different nightmare. And that trap was set from day one.
This is a different change in my life. Am I gonna make it? I don't know. But it really is one of those things where I just gotta move forward, and I have the means to do it. Yeah.
Tisha's shift from public victim to wife and mother created a deep psychological dependence on the marriage itself. She didn't just want it to work, she needed it too. The marriage became proof that she had survived. If it failed, it would feel like the trauma had won, like she'd escaped one nightmare only to fall into another. And that desperation to keep everything intact likely explains why she endured the abuse that reportedly started just months after the wedding.
I'm supposed to slow down, figure this out, and it's not just for him, it's for me too. So it helps me in everything that I do.
To really understand what was happening behind the scenes, we have to look at Duane Martin's real power in Hollywood. Duane sat at the center of a tight circle known as Real Husbands of Hollywood. The show itself was a parody, but it also reflected the real dynamics of Black Hollywood's male elite. And right at the heart of that circle was Duane's close friendship with Will Smith.
I live in LA. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of opportunities I don't get because the guys don't want me to see them with their boyfriends. And I've suffered from that. Do you think me saying Will like guys, because I said it, and I can't take it back.
Yeah.
Because I believe it. I know it for the most part.
Okay.
By me saying that, I hope it doesn't strike a nerve in anybody, but I'm saying I live in LA.
Yeah.
And there's a lifestyle that is kept quiet.
A secret society.
Yeah.
By the early 2000s, Will Smith was arguably the biggest movie star on the planet. His relationship with Duane wasn't casual. They were constantly seen together at events, premieres, even on vacations. Music for Tisha, being that close to Will's inner circle, brought perks, career access, social protection, and industry approval. But it came with a heavy price: absolute silence. As the wife of Will Smith's closest friend, Tisha became a gatekeeper. Her role was to protect both men's images. If anyone questioned the nature of Duane and Will's bond, she was expected to frame it as just normal guy friendship, even when it didn't feel that simple. And the rumors weren't new. Whispers about Will and Duane had been circulating since the early 2000s. In 2012, Star magazine claimed Will and Jada were headed for divorce. An insider alleged Will took Duane on an exotic vacation, music, and an eyewitness said they were spotted at what looked like a romantic dinner. At the time, it was brushed off as tabloid trash. Will and Jada were still America's golden couple. Duane was just a close friend. But Tisha noticed, and more importantly, she was being pressured to keep everything buried.
Always told Will, you can do whatever you want as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be okay.
Wow.
Okay? Because at the end of the day, Will is his own man. I'm here as his partner, but he is his own man. He has to decide who he wants to be. And that's not for me to do for him.
On the surface, Jada's later comments sounded like a supportive wife embracing her husband's individuality. But in context, they felt more like carefully managed damage control. And Tisha, music through all of this, was on the front lines. She tweeted things like, "I usually ignore negativity, but I'm tired of the media attacking the Smiths. They're an amazing couple. Please stop spreading lies and leave them alone." She was defending an image that depended on her silence. But silence never lasts forever. In January 2019, Tisha filed for a restraining order against Duane Martin, and the affidavit she submitted completely shattered their public image. She swore under penalty of perjury that the abuse wasn't new or caused by the divorce. According to her, it was baked into the marriage from the very beginning. In December 2018, just weeks before filing, she said Duane grabbed her arm and tried to force her into the bedroom. She also alleged he pinned her by the throat against a wall until she struggled to breathe.
I felt myself hurl myself into a corner and ball up. And I think I blacked out because the next thing I remember was the pain, and I was back in my body.
And beyond the physical violence was something many survivors say cuts just as deep: relentless psychological abuse. Tisha described constant body shaming, repeated attacks on her weight and appearance. This wasn't occasional criticism. It was systematic, designed to break her down, to make her feel unwanted, to convince her she was lucky anyone wanted her at all. And here's the chilling part. In her affidavit, Tisha admitted she kept the abuse hidden to protect her family and her husband's public image. She knew exactly what she was giving up by staying silent. She was sacrificing herself. And she claims Duane knew exactly how to weaponize that loyalty.
I kind of knew something was up with my child, which is what I would tell all of my friends. Something's up with this kid. Yeah. And they would, proceed to tell me, no, you're just a, first-time mom. But I kind of knew there was something happening the minute I brought him home from the hospital.
In an industry where positive images of black marriage were already scarce, exposing Duane felt like betraying the community, like feeding into harmful stereotypes. According to the allegations, Duane exploited that guilt. He understood that Tisha's commitment to protecting their image was stronger than her instinct to protect herself. As long as she believed she was defending a black love, she would stay quiet. That silence made room for financial manipulation. It allowed him to maintain a secret relationship with Will Smith. It enabled an elaborate scheme that would eventually collapse everything. Because when someone is trapped in an abusive relationship, control extends to finances, connections, even their sense of reality. And Tisha would soon learn just how far that control went when she finally tried to leave. But before that, we have to break down the financial web Duane built and how it led straight back to Will Smith, That's where this story turns into a full-blown Hollywood scandal.
With Tisha Campbell Martin and Duane Martin. They filed for bankruptcy not too long ago. They cited about $15 million worth of debt.
In January 2016, Tisha and Duane filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, claiming nearly $15 million in debt. But the bankruptcy trustee, a federal official responsible for finding assets, noticed something wasn't adding up. Their lifestyle didn't match their claims. They were still living big, driving luxury cars, and projecting success while saying they were broke. The centerpiece of the filing was their 9,000 square foot mansion in Chatsworth, California. Bought in 2006, the home lost value after the market crash and was worth less than the mortgage. Duane negotiated a short sale, selling it for less than owed to a third party. But the trustee uncovered something shocking. That buyer was a shell company called Rox LLC, and Rox LLC wasn't independent. Investigators alleged it was controlled by Duane himself. He was essentially buying his own house back at a discount, wiping out the debt while secretly keeping ownership. To keep up appearances, he signed a lease with Rox LLC, paying $5,000 a month, essentially paying himself. Then he listed the house for $2.06 million. The plan? Sell it, clear the fake debt, and pocket roughly $1.03 million tax-free and hidden from creditors. But here's the real question. Where did the money come from? A bankrupt Duane Martin didn't have millions lying around. Someone else was funding the scheme. During the divorce, Tisha discovered who that person really was. Music, she begged Duane to come clean. He refused, insisting she keep protecting him. That's when everything changed. Tisha went straight to the trustee. She became the whistleblower against her own husband, and handed over evidence that would expose the scheme and point investigators directly toward Will Smith.
I can't go into much detail about the past because there was a confidentiality agreement, but I was actually kind of shocked. There were people in my ear saying, be quiet, don't say anything, and then there were other people who were like, you need to back. But I took a day and I said, I'm gonna just hit him up. And so I was like, hey, and he was like, T. I said, yo, are we good? Right. And he was like, yeah, T, don't read into what it is. You know, there's a lot of people that's trying to bring up the past and trying to make it news today, but you know, T, we're good. I love you. I love your family.
Court filings show that back in 2012, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith quietly loaned Duane Martin a hefty $1.04 million. Things got serious when the bankruptcy trustee subpoenaed Will Smith's financial records and personal emails to track where that money went. Those emails allegedly revealed Duane pressing Will to fund the deal. And that raises two possibilities. Either Duane felt entitled to Will's money, or Will felt a deep obligation to keep Duane afloat. Either way, this wasn't a casual favor. It points to a very unusual level of financial entanglement between two married men.
With everything, with success, with failure, relationships, if you put in certain kinds of things and certain kinds of mechanisms, then you can get a successful result.
Now let's rewind. Duane first met Will on the set of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1993. That's where their tight bond began. For years, they were inseparable, constantly photographed together, vacationing together, selling this image of Hollywood brotherhood. Guests from Duane's 35th birthday even said Will gifted him a Bentley, which only fueled questions about how deep this friendship really went. Then in 2011, the rumors kicked up another notch when Will and Duane took a trip to Trinidad without their wives. Reports at the time described the two as possibly being on the down low.
You scared that she gonna tell all those freakers about you and Wayne, huh? Duane Martin. That's what you're scared of. Go ahead and let it come out, Will. Just tell her, yeah, that's why Tisha left on Wayne. Come on, Will. Just put it out there, bro. Everybody know. Anybody from LA know you and Duane are an idol. Stop letting her extort you for that little secret. You may not know or think people know, but we all know though.
If any of this is true, that $1.04 million loan suddenly hits different. This wasn't pocket change or friendly help. It looks more like a financial lifeline. Money meant to keep Duane living a lifestyle tied to his connection with Will. If Duane went broke and lost his home, he'd also lose access to the elite circles where he and Will moved. He'd lose the environment that made their relationship work. That money wasn't a gift. It was a way to keep Duane comfortable and positioned.
I think the whole Duane Martin rumor is just too convenient for me, right? It'd be different if you were a best friend and if Will Smith was indeed gay, he's hunched more people than Duane Martin. You know what I'm saying?
The bankruptcy records laid out the financial bones of the scandal. But years later, a former personal assistant and close friend of Will Smith added the flesh.
This is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Duane's dressing room, and that's when I see Duane and having anal Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Duane was standing up, killing him. Like, it was murder in there.
In an interview with Tisha K, Brother Bell claimed he once walked in on Will Smith and Duane Martin getting intimate on a couch. He described Duane as the more dominant one and shared details that left little doubt about what he said he witnessed. Now, why does this matter? Because it sheds light on what Tisha Campbell may have endured. If her husband was involved in an intense, possibly romantic relationship with one of the biggest stars on Earth, the psychological toll would be massive. It explains much of what she later described, and it also explains the 20 years of silence. Speaking out wouldn't just have ended her marriage. It would have exposed Will Smith in a way few people would dare.
I don't really understand how we went through the bankruptcy, honestly, but that I was kind of separated from it. So I don't really know how we got through it, but it really is just taking yourself outside of it and keeping moving forward. I just move forward.
Here's what speaks louder than any statement. In 2012, when Star Magazine rumors surfaced, Tisha fiercely defended the Smiths. But when Brother Bell's allegations dropped in 2023, she didn't rush to protect her ex-husband or Will. That silence spoke volumes. Either she believed Bell or she was finally done putting herself on the line. After decades of guarding images that weren't hers to protect, Tisha Campbell chose silence over lies. And trust me, this story doesn't stop here, especially once you hear what Lisa Ray had to say.
Now, you tell me about Duane Martin, who's married to Tisha Campbell, who's good friends with...
From Tisha, her soon-to-be ex.
I heard about that. I didn't know what to believe.
Unfortunate, they've been married for so long, and...
He's still good friends with Will Smith, though, correct?
I don't know that either. I just know he's not my friend anymore.
Lisa Ray married Michael, the Prime Minister of Turks and Caicos, and later introduced him to her friend and co-star Duane Martin. Looking back, Lisa Ray has called that introduction one of the worst mistakes of her life.
Well, you know, when you introduce your friend to your husband, I did that for business, for association, for relationship. And when it went sour and I had a sidebar with Duane and said, hey, you know, what are you doing and why are you doing it? And I don't...
He became better friends with your husband than you were.
He started, you know, being in places that he shouldn't have been.
Where?
My friend. Just along with the shenanigans.
In your living room when you come home from work and you're like, Duane, what are you doing here? I didn't call you. Michael, why are you entertaining him?
I made it very clear that we were not friends anymore and that he was not welcome in my home anymore.
On the Wendy Williams show, Lisa Ray claimed Duane played a major role in destroying her marriage. And her story sounded eerily familiar. Duane, someone she saw as a brother, started introducing her husband to other women. This wasn't just cheating. It was matchmaking, building a whole network. And this wasn't the only time Duane was accused of doing this. He was also linked to facilitating Michael's alleged involvement with Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. Think about that. These situations require two things: trust and silence. Everyone involved trusted Duane to keep things quiet, and he trusted them to do the same. It was an entire ecosystem built on secrets. Which brings us back to Tisha. If Duane did this for others, what do you think was happening inside his own marriage?
I've heard more rumors about Duane than Will.
Oh, you heard rumors about Duane? People like to say whatever happens behind closed doors is nobody's business, but when you're a public figure, it is everyone's business.
No, because if you kept it behind closed doors, nobody would know. Therefore, it wouldn't be nobody's business. They bring shit from out the bedroom. That's how we know any goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what I do in the bed. I don't care what my OnlyFans looks like.
Tisha and Duane's divorce was finalized in 2020, but the damage didn't stop there. Financial abuse, hidden assets, shell companies. Tisha was allegedly left with as little as $21 while still questioning where all the money went. Duane is accused of spending years moving assets out of reach, building a financial fortress that left Tisha with almost nothing when she finally walked away.
Because you went through a divorce, and if I read correctly, they said you had $7 left in your name. Is that true?
That's true. Actually, no.
The story was I had $21 in my pocket and a knife cost $7 and I wanted to pay for the knife, but it was Christmas and I had a choice to try to get some extra toys for my kids.
When Duane later got engaged to model Ashley Marie Jones, reports claim Tisha issued a warning to the new fiancé telling her to keep Duane away from her male friends and referencing his past. This was huge. For the first time outside of legal pressure, Tisha was allegedly signaling that her husband's sexuality had been a real issue in their marriage. Back when she filed restraining orders, everything was under oath. Now, there was no pressure. That warning was her way of finally saying what she couldn't for 20 years. And over time, Tisha's social media told its own story. During Jada Pinkett Smith's entanglement scandal, Tisha commented, "The truth always comes out. They will lie till the end." She didn't name names, but she wrote "will" in all caps. Twice, and in context it felt pointless.
Storms come, and people need to understand there are in those low moments, there's always just wait one more second, one more day. I have some amazing other people in my life, like, you know, friends who just are just like, we got this.
More recently, a former violinist named Brian Scott Joseph filed a lawsuit against Will Smith. His claims fit a pattern we've been hearing about for years. Joseph says he was hired for a tour project, things felt normal at first, then shifted. He alleges Will began grooming him, suggesting they had a special connection during private moments. Joseph also described a disturbing incident in Las Vegas, where he returned to his hotel room to find a handwritten note reading, "O'Brien, I'll be back. I'll be back. Just us," signed to stone for one of Will's nicknames. After reporting it, Joseph claims he was fired and accused of lying.
Earlier this year, I was hired to be a performer on a major tour with somebody who is huge in the industry. So I was excited, you know, proud of myself for getting the opportunity. Unfortunately, some things happened, and I can't get into the details of exactly what that was. Because it's already a legal issue right now. But the reason why I'm speaking out about this is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that, simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work, is not okay. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak up, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you. And that's pretty much it.
Whether these allegations are proven in court or not, they add to a growing body of claims that paint a troubling picture. One that also ties back to the collapse of Tisha Campbell's marriage. Her relationship became a nightmare of control and financial devastation because it was built to protect a lie. Duane Martin's bond with Will Smith allegedly needed cover, and Tisha was that cover. For 20 years, she defended their friendship, shut down rumors, and held everything together while paying the price physically, emotionally, and financially. That $1.04 million loan wasn't just money. It was proof of what she was protecting. When the courts demanded the truth and prison became a real possibility, Tisha finally stopped lying. And in doing so, she cracked the shield around Duane Martin and Will Smith.
Even though this is something that happened a long time ago, you could still make it happen in your mind every single day,
over and over
walk in life, over and over again, becoming and still maintaining being a victim. That's not what I do.
Right.
And I've never been a victim to it, but there was some remnants up in there.
Absolutely.
And so this is my way of telling him, I forgive you and I forgive myself.
Wow.
I have to.
So now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this Will Smith connection? Was that money really just a friendly loan? Or the price of keeping a secret? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.